All right, I'd like to call the the May 23rd, 2023 Board for Licensing Contractors. Like a roll call to my left, starting with Reese.
Reese Smith, Franklin.
Andy Allen, Knox.
Mark Brudd, Knoxville.
Jennifer Ransom, Memphis.
Ronnie Tickle, Memphis.
First item on our agenda is to approve the agenda. Make a motion to approve, or if anyone has any alterations, let us know.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
It is approved. Look for approval of the meeting minutes of the March 21st, 2023 meeting.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll start with license reviews and approvals. Start with hardships. Make a motion for approval of the hardships.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Contractor initial applications. Approval for that.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the initial contractor apps for waived and interviews, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. For contractor revisions. Increases, add classes, mode, and name changes. Make a motion for approval of those.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. LLEs and LLPs and home improvements. Make a motion for approval of those licenses.
Motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Applications with factors and interviews. Any of those that-
I have one.
Yep.
Jennifer and I interviewed file number 79225. One of our board members had flagged it. We interviewed the principal and we've decided that there's no violation. And we agreed to grant a license A and B small for $218,000. 79225.
Thank you, Reese. Anybody else? Take a motion to approve all the applications with factors and the interviews.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Legal report, Stuart Huffman.
Good morning. My name is Camilla Saralou. I am a litigation attorney for the Contractors Board, and there are two changes to the legal report. And the changes are as follows. Number 54 on the legal report, that is case number 20230000731. The penalty is increased from $1,000 to $2,000. And the second change is number 91 on the legal report. That's case number 202300491. The recommendation is to close and flag and not just close. I also need to update the board on statutory citations. We have resumed the statutory citation process since our new executive director started. in March. So far in 2023, we have sent out 18 statutory citations and we have collected $4,000 in civil penalties through the statutory citation process.
How many of those 18 are settled?
Well, with the statutory citation process, they have 15 business days to either appeal the statutory citation or pay the civil penalty. If they do not pay the civil penalty, we send the case to collections because the citation becomes a final order if it is not appealed. So of those cases, I don't have the number on how many we have sent to elections so far.
Help me out here. Statutory citations, who authorizes those?
The executive director on behalf of the board.
Okay. And sets the amount.
The amount is set by statute, I believe. I think thousands.
So we never see that.
No, through the statute and rules, the executive director acts on behalf of the board for the citations, and it's anywhere from $50 to $1,000.
And these are complaints we've received.
Yes, and it's by statute, like if it's unlicensed, it's,
And we haven't been doing this in years past.
no, we have.
Okay.
I think we need to approve the legal report.
Yes. With its amendments, yes.
I'll take a motion to approve the legal report with its 2 amendments.
Motion.
Second.
Any other discussion on it? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Legal report is approved. Legislative update.
Morning, Board. My name's Michael Morelli, Executive Director of the Board of Licensing Contractors. Legislative update, we don't have much to provide as far as updates because we didn't have a lot in the pipeline. I will notate that the increase bill that was proposed for the $25,000 LLE to bump it to $50,000 did not pass. We do expect it to come back around though next year. So that one did not pass. It failed on the House floor the night of the vote. Other than that, that's the only legislative update I have. I don't believe legal has any other updates as well.
No.
Perfect. Then I can just stay up here and run it right into board updates. Well, actually, I'm gonna let Alex jump in here first. Sorry.
I'll move closer to the camera so if I can pick up. Alex Martin, Assistant Commissioner for Division of Regulatory Boards. So I just want to say thank y'all all for coming. Do want to say on the record, we're very happy that our chairman has been reappointed. So we're thankful to the governor's office for that and glad that you'll be stuck with us for another 6 or 7 years. Also just want to say, I don't want to steal any of Michael's thunder. He's doing an exceptional job to have only been with us since March, and for a time there was, of course, wearing 2 hats. So we had to share him with our sister division in fire. And I'll say for the last several weeks, he's been full on with his sleeves rolled up and reg boards really diving in with leading the team in a great way. So Michael, you've got a couple more updates. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Assistant Commissioner. First of note, I did not attach the net position statement to the emails that were sent out to the board. I will get that out as soon as I get back to the office, so you guys will have record of that. We did get notification from the state of Georgia about a month ago that they are putting a moratorium on the reciprocity with the state of Tennessee. That is nothing due to anything the state of Tennessee did. Georgia's licensing program is not as robust as Tennessee's as when it comes to the specialties and the classifications. So I spoke with them yesterday and they're looking at getting a new licensing program to bring it more into the 21st century because they basically told me they only have 2 types of commercial licenses. So when reciprocity applications get sent to them, there's not really, it's a square peg round hole situation. So they are working on that. They are going to be getting back in touch with me once they get their new system up. And they do anticipate resuming reciprocity with the state of Tennessee. Set up.
Did they change reciprocity with any other state?
North Carolina, sir. So they only had reciprocity, they told me, with 4 states, and North Carolina and Tennessee, they're putting a moratorium.
Is that for all their classifications or just GC?
Just GC, sir.
The electric reciprocity still staying.
Yes, sir.
Are we in turn putting a hold on reciprocity of Georgia?
Michael, let me jump in here. So, Mr. Chairman, that's a great question. So Michael and I had a lot of interesting conversations about this. So much of our reciprocity across our licensed professions is by virtue of legislation. So when we got a notification from their board, just sort of about them making the decision to terminate this, I thought we found that interesting, given that their session had already wrapped up. So much of that is in statute for us, and with contractors in particular, I don't know that we really have a streamlined reciprocity path there. So they have clarified that it's just a moratorium on new licenses going forward. We had some initial difficulty getting a hold of them, and I think that we probably need to look at what we need to communicate to any initial licensees that come forward after this point, so they're not thinking that they might have that reciprocity in those other states, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir. And just to reiterate, when I spoke with them, they said any applications that are currently in process will still be worked on, and they're not removing reciprocity from anybody that is currently reciprocating from Tennessee. So it's all just new applicants.
So new applicants will just have to go through the full process.
Yes, ma'am.
As opposed to.
Yes, ma'am. And we did mention, which I'll get into as well, but they are still accepting NASCLA accreditation. So that is still a venue for contractors to.
And because it is only, since they have now clarified and we're able to get that information from them, our initial concern was that they were terminating reciprocity for existing licensees. And so,
Okay.
and until they clarified, we thought it was much more of a significant issue. And we were really concerned about if we had our licensees that were in Hamilton County, for example, doing work across the line in Georgia, we wouldn't want those folks to think they held a license and then all of a sudden it's been terminated by another state without us having the opportunity to communicate that. So we've clarified that's not the case, and we want to be, I think, straightforward with customers who are applying for initial licensure going forward.
And we'll make sure to put a banner up of some sort on our website to notate the reciprocity moratorium in the state of Georgia.
But we, as a board, we don't have the ability to draw our reciprocity for Georgia contractors.
Chairman, that's a good question. I would probably want to huddle up with legal and see what statutory authority we do have. Again, so I use CPAs as an example because that's an easy one for me. They have a national exam, and so there's a very streamlined pathway for reciprocity there. It's just not the same with this particular industry. I don't really think there is good mobility across state lines. And so as the executive director mentioned, they only have 2 classifications that don't really match up with ours. So I'm unclear at this time what licenses would reciprocate anyway. Sure don't, do you have anything to add?
No,
What are their 2 classifications again?
Unlimited GC, and then they call it a tier 1 GC, which has a limit of $1 million.
There's no residential person.
They have, their residential is in a completely separate board. Their boards are set into 2 different
Okay.
boards.
So the residential still reciprocate.
We never had reciprocity
Oh,
in the residential.
Right, so it's a situation where if somebody who's doing work in both states, they just hold a license and they have to meet their requirements and ours, there's no reciprocity in the sense that if they're a residential contractor in Tennessee, they automatically receive that license somewhere else.
But the electric and the plumbing and the mechanical and all those are still reciprocating.
Yes, sir.
But just the GC, just really the commercial GC.
Yes, sir.
I think our question is, since they've got a moratorium going that way, does that reciprocate to a moratorium coming this way?
I would honestly assume so. That it's basically,
So we would have to put that in place because the state of Georgia would just give you proof of license.
mhm,
But we don't have that in place to my knowledge.
no, sir.
So are we wanting to put that in place or not?
Yeah, so I think we should, I think it would be appropriate for us to discuss that question with legal, see what authorities in the statute, but I would caution us on that, just to not be reactionary. And the reason why is if they have concerns about our license requirements, that might be appropriate. They're trying to update their classifications. But if we've got folks that are in Tennessee doing business in Georgia, do we want to, that would,
Well,
I think, hurt some of our folks.
it wouldn't affect anybody that currently has a license, of course. We're just talking about the reciprocation.
Right.
So if somebody from Georgia who's, they feel their license classifications don't match up to ours, wants to reciprocate to Tennessee to get a Tennessee license, at this time, we're allowing that. But they're not allowing.
I would assume, I think so. I
Yeah, I
think that's the
think
way.
I mean, the real reason for doing that would be to encourage them to expedite their situation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What we can do, like you said, sir, is we can round up with legal and then send a notice out to the board of what was stated and what we can find out.
Did they send you something?
Yes, sir, they did.
Well-
It was an email through our customer service center. Not very formal. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
it was a very odd interaction, but Commissioner Allen, to your question, even if there wasn't a formal termination or moratorium, you know, that the board agreed to, y'all do have very broad authority when reviewing initial applications to decide what experience you're accepting and what you aren't, right? So I think if we did have folks who held a license in Georgia and then applied in Tennessee, y'all still have a lot of discretion as a board to say, well, we're going to give credit here or not give credit here, depending on what license type is being sought. So again, look to Stewart for further clarification on that, but I think that's probably a good first step if that helps. So,
And then 2 months from now, we can talk about, again, see if you've had any discussion.
this is very new information that, you know, we just got.
That's why I literally spoke with them yesterday morning. I tried to get them to contact us for 4 weeks.
All right.
All right, next board update, we have a new hire that will be joining us as a RB2 assistant. Her name is Shakita Wimberly. She actually comes from the customer service center and handled all of the contractors pod. So she's very experienced in the processes and regulations that comes to contractors, home improvement, and LLEs. So we're excited to have her on board. She's still helping the customer service center out because again, she works our pod. So I did not want to move her immediately without them being able to backfill. Additionally, I have tasked the team with a little bit more focus on initial apps as well as working the aging report. So we are going back through on that aging report, calling customers, reaching out, reminding them that their application is out here and it is a non-refundable application fee. And if there's anything we can do to assist.
How long is the application out before it becomes part of the aging or considered aging?
It's always on the aging report, Commissioner. What it is we look at the oldest ones and work our way up. And so that way we see, we're basically attacking it from the oldest applications to the newest, because we have some that are over 100 days old that we're still waiting on them to actually either take the test, get their CPA audited review in, multitude of things, or some of them, quite frankly, forgot that they submitted. So we're just kind of holding their hands, helping them through the process. And we've actually, in the past 4 weeks, been able to make a good sizable dent in the aging report. Lastly, what I have, I printed out for you and possibly on your iPads as well. NASCLA has approached the state of Tennessee, which they've also mentioned they approached before, for the state of Tennessee to become an administering state for the NASCLA accredited examination. So what I did was I went ahead and printed out my handout there for you guys to have some information on. And I figured that if you guys would have good 2 months to review it all, and then if you would like, you can vote on whether or not you would like the state of Tennessee to become an administering state for the NASCLA examination. So you guys have the information there. From what I can tell, it's very, in line with the state-specific exam that we offer as well. But I definitely wanted to give that option to the customers, see if that's something that we could do to make it a little bit more easier on customers if, when they're looking to test, since there are about 11 other states approximately that accept or administer the NASCLA accreditation exam.
Tell me, what, so we already accepted. So-
We already accepted, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're asking
If we can be an administering state. And I honestly, I feel like, you know, it would be just a good customer service venue to give customers that extra option that if they're going to work in another state that they have, Georgia, they can still take the NASCLA and Georgia will accept that exam.
Who physically administers it?
PSI, sir. Same company that administers our current exams. If your choice of which one you would like.
Is there any cost or implications to the state of Tennessee for?
No, sir. We basically bring NASCLA in. We already pay a membership fee to NASCLA. And so they would then set up, we would work with PSI and NASCLA, basically get that exam set up.
How is that different than what we have right now?
We have just a state specific exam that is, that exam is only accepted in for reciprocity in certain other states. NASCLA is accepted broadly, but with, like I said, approximately 11 other states. Yes, sir.
So you can't take a NASCLA exam in the state of Tennessee.
Cannot take it in the state of Tennessee, but we accept the results of
So
NASCLA
you're just asking,
if we could be an administering state.
and it wouldn't cost the state anything.
No, sir.
PSI already has locations in the state.
Yes, sir. And they would just add that exam to Tennessee's options.
So is there any repercussions or anything? Is there any reason not to do this?
Mr. Chairman, if I could ask a question, I think this is something that we would be supportive of, but I do think we need to clarify if this would require a rule change.
No, I mean, there's nothing in the rules that state that it has to go through.
So if the board's supportive of it, it's just a matter of them voting and done.
Yes.
Great, okay, well,
So today, PSI cannot administer the NASCLA exam in Tennessee.
It looks like they're comparable. It says that Carolyn had done a comparison on the different exams and they're comparable.
Yes, ma'am.
Content, we already accept it. Unless there's a reason why we shouldn't, that we aren't aware of. I think it makes good sense.
I feel like it's just a good customer service
They
option.
say it's Tennessee, but maybe not.
But we already accepted, I don't know
Yeah.
why we wouldn't administer it.
So I'll let the board decide on how they want to approach that, if they want to review it until the next board meeting, whatnot, just let us know. And that,
We're ready to tell them what.
Yeah. Vote on it.
Yeah, I make a motion that we start administering the NASCLA exam for both the GC and conductor.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Mr. Chairman, in the weeds just a little bit, they allow 5.5 hours to take those tests.
That's the same for the Tennessee test.
I believe so.
Yeah.
You need every bit of 5.5 hours. Yeah.
better than the inspector exams, those are only 2 hours. Any other questions, as far as board updates go? All right, and as far as new business goes, I'd like to introduce some representatives from our Goldville partners. We have Justin Lane with us as well, and Steve Vandervoort. He's going to come up and speak just briefly on Goldville. They'll also be in our board meeting in July as well with a little bit more robust of a presentation. But they were in town and wanted to come by and say hi, so I'll give the floor to them. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. My name is Justin Lane, with Go Build Tennessee. Like I mentioned, we'll be back in July to give a full presentation. I did want to come and just thank you guys for the support. Grateful for the support for Commerce and Insurance and this board. Go Build Tennessee, as you know, our core mission is really just to introduce Tennessee students and career changers to a successful career in the trades. And I don't think anybody in this room would argue that that's probably more important than ever, especially as we have tremendous demands from Tennessee's thriving economy, as Tennessee making record investments in infrastructure is needed. And this sort of labor gap is something that's going to be around for the next decade. So our core mission is to really help move the needle on that. And that's because of the support that we have from you guys. I will say, Go Build has been around for quite a few years. We took the reins about 7 to 8 months ago. We have really rejuvenated the board. The board is full, as it wasn't a year ago. We have really returned to our central mission to promote the trades and those careers. That is not something that's been done in the past, it's something we're doing now. We're already seeing great results just through press, marketing, and we have launched a new website. If you guys haven't been to it, gobuildtennessee.com. We believe that it is sort of the benchmark for any sort of workforce development or trade association websites, whether you're a parent, whether you're a guidance counselor, whether you're an elected official or just a student interested in a career in the trades. There are interactive tools on that website. So you can go on there and click on careers and select certain variables. I like working with my hands. I want to make X number of dollars in this career. I am located in West Tennessee, and it will give you training opportunities and career suggestions based on whatever variables you select. There's also a really cool career pathways tool that shows people that there are multiple successful paths to skilled trades careers. So if you haven't checked that out, please visit it and follow us on social media. That's what y'all do. And, again, we're grateful for the support. I'll let Steve come in.
Board, thank you for having us here today. Appreciate the opportunity. And like Justin said, Go Build Tennessee's kind of had a stalemate for the last couple of years, but as a licensed contractor in the state of Tennessee for over 30 years, I can just tell you the base of this and the training that comes getting these young people into the programs starts building the foundation for not only their careers and their skilled trade, but they're the future generation of contractors that will be filling out the applications in years to come. And with a program like Go Build Tennessee and the educational system, starts building a good foundation for them. So when they get to the application process to be licensed general contractor or licensed electrical contractor, you know you got skilled people in front of you. So appreciate the opportunity for us to be here today. Thank you.
Next question is Go Build. Do you all provide the training? Do you provide curriculum? Are you kind of like an intermediary to industry? How does that work?
Yeah, so we provide the awareness.
Okay.
We also partner with multiple organizations across the state, labor workforce, their apprenticeship programs. We have a full training country right now. There's about 500 locations that are currently on the training directory. So we essentially are sort of the outward facing public awareness component of that. And then we provide that mechanism or that sort of catalyst to push people to the training, depending on what career they're interested in and what part of the state they're in.
Thank you for the question because it's very important. Like Justin said, excuse me, we bring the awareness. I don't really know that most folks understand the outcome of presenting awareness. We have had amazing results since October, November, launching a Facebook page and a website. The number of people that have started the process, and we have links to the TCAT schools. We have links to private apprenticeship programs like ABC, like our private apprenticeship program we have in-house at my company. The number of people that reach out, it's an avenue. And unfortunately, in our educational system, a lot of times, everybody says, hey, my grandson should probably do this, or my nephew should do this, or my niece should do that. Okay, well, well, that's good. Well, where'd they go? You know, you can't flip through the yellow pages, or a lot of times you can't even Google to get to an apprenticeship program, or a PCAT school to really find out exactly where the rubber meets the road. This is an avenue, and it's just started, and it's going to get, it's getting better and better. And I'll give you, as an entrepreneur, a very great statistic that I figured out about 2 months after they launched Facebook. I'm not a social media stuff, but Justin showed, you know, the age of the people, male and female. I think there was 157,000 people in like 3 months that had looked between the ages of 18 and 26. Right? So 157. What was very surprising to me was that like 44 or 42% of them were female. Who would have thought? You know, when you talk about skilled trades and construction, you're talking about hard work, sweat, you know, that sort of thing. That's what most people think. But as an electrical contractor, just tell you, the technology's come a long, long ways. It's about the 6 inches between your left ear and your right ear, not so much as 6 inches around your bicep. And this avenue is just, it's getting better and better all the time, and just a resource where people can get to the next step.
I think the biggest thing to that is just to sort of add to that is that everything that we're doing is very targeted. We're trying to stretch those dollars as far as possible. When it comes to marketing and advertising, we always worry about the media waste, meaning if I go out and buy a billboard, you have a lot of people that are driving by, but probably not the core audience. There's a tremendous amount of media waste there. 100% of our advertising is going to go to digital, and digital technology is changing rapidly. We are right now, June 1st, we will start a full-blown ad campaign. We have segments where we are targeting individuals that are researching career jobs, and just based on certain income levels. We are going to target high schoolers on mobile devices only, because they don't use anything else, in all 95 counties across Tennessee. And we are also going to target, based on third-party data sets, Tennessee parents who have high schoolers in all 95 counties. So we've got sort of these three core audiences that we're going to reach out to. And it's as Steve mentioned, I mean, we are reaching hundreds of thousands of individuals. We've done that with a small ad budget. We're about to pour, gasoline on the fire here, and I really think it's going to move the needle, and we're going to see immediate results. We've got dashboards set up, and that's something we'll show you guys next time. Especially, we'll have almost a month of else.
You get a chance, put Go Build Tennessee on your phone and tweet what trended or whatever it is.
Yeah, you go on social media, and the website is a tremendous tool. If you get on there and you notice that, hey, you don't have this training program, shoot some email and we'll get it on its way. So it really is a benchmark, I believe, for any sort of thing that should try to be replicated in other parts of the state.
4 weeks ago, one of the links come up that said, told the need of electricians in Tennessee, told how much electricians make in Tennessee. Okay. And Cookville's kind of where I'm from, it's kind of a small community. Go out to dinner, took my family out to lunch after church, and 3 or 4 people while we feed lunch. It became a published deal. Now, people are looking at the owner a little bit differently, and our electricians driving down the road in our trucks because of, it's publicized, how much money they're making and what the career offers and the benefits. And that's just electrical. But this stuff is based on all the skills.
You all tied in any way with the Education Foundation and with the West Tennessee Home Builders, or how are you working with some of the other foundations that are trying to do something similar?
Yeah, so we're working with ABC of West Tennessee, ABC of Greater Tennessee, both AGC organizations in the state, Tennessee Road Builders Association, Tennessee Home Builders Association. Those are all, they all have appointees to our board, which is comprised of 12. That particular organization, you're not directly plugged into the West Tennessee chapter. Did you say the Home Builders?
It's
Tennessee Home
Builders
Builders?
Education Foundation. Yeah, they're trying to do something similar, so that might be a good connection.
Yeah, I'll give you my contact information after this. There are workforce development programs that are popping up. There's certain organizations that are just hosting large career fairs. Steve was in Johnson City 3 weeks ago, I believe. They have a tremendous career quest program up there where they take all of the Tri-Cities high school students, put them in the dome at ETSU, and there is, how many kids they have? 6,000, I believe, come through, and they just they get exposed to what a career should be like in the trade. So we try to plug in to as many of those organizations.
Who sponsors that?
That we do sponsor career quest.
It was about 3 or 4 different parties in East Tennessee. There was some construction folks, medical, government stuff, sheriff's department. 2HB was there as well, the sheriff's department, and English service, and all that. So it was a combined effort.
It wasn't like a Skills USA session. But I think it is one of the largest gatherings or sort of outreach programs for high school students in the state.
Great.
Good, thank you for the information.
Thank you for your time.
Board members, I had one last thing I forgot to share with you. I just wanted to let you know that we are, Janine and myself are going to be having an outreach event next week back here in Memphis at the Mid-South Minority Business Continuum. We're going to be basically just giving them a presentation on what it takes to become a contractor, the application process, that's involves everything. So I just wanted to let y'all know that we are working on some outreach events as well.
Mike, let me know about that, because I'll come to you.
I would love it. Yes, ma'am. It's next Tuesday. I'll get you some information. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I want to thank publicly Catherine from Greenbrier in regards to the hard work she's done with the transition and keeping us on our toes and getting everything ready for our meetings.
You.
Thank you, Tracy.
Always.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Motion for adjournment. Favor?
Let me know that one, because that's the one that I'm trying to put the name of the